You know that feeling. Your car is getting older, repairs are piling up, and you may actually start thinking about, should I buy a new car? But COVID's thrown a wrench completely on that entire premise and that thinking, and now people more than ever are looking to give their old cars a second chance at life. For everything that's happened in this pandemic, lots of things have shifted, especially for those that usually typically commute to their jobs. Even my job got impacted, so now I'm fully remote. But now, a lot of the times, especially for those people with older cars, they don't have to drive anymore. Maybe they don't have to drive as far anymore, which means the problems that they've associated with their car, maybe it's older, maybe repairs are piling up, maybe they can't afford the gas of that internal combustion engine. Those people now have a new option. They can go ahead and actually just start extending the life of those cars. You guys know for me, my Lexus IS250, I had the Lexus IS350. So before the pandemic hit, I had two of those cars, so the Lexus IS250 and 350, and I had them and I kept them. And they were older cars with a lot of mileage. The Lexus IS250 today has 350,000 kilometers roughly, and I sold my Lexus IS350. But that car, yes, it's older. Yes, you know, for especially some other people, their cars, maybe they're getting some repairs on their cars. Maybe, you know, the mileage is up there. Maybe it's not as technologically as advanced as they would like. But a lot of people are looking to keep those cars in their house, in their stable for a lot longer. Because honestly, have you guys looked at the used car market? Have you guys looked at the new car market? It's actually insane. COVID, the supply chain disruption. I did a video on this talking about where I think, you know, the supply chain will fix itself at the end of 2022 is my prediction. I have already heard family that works in the supply chain for these manufacturers, that supply is starting to ramp back up. We will start seeing the supply chain issues start, you know, normalizing a little bit, I'd say at the midpoint of 2022, and hopefully fully normalized by the end of 2022. What this means is that hopefully over the next course of the year, you're gonna see opportunities to buy those newer cars. But today, you're gonna see people more and more keep their existing older cars, maintain them, and keep getting more life out of them. You know, with my Lexus IS250, I think that's pretty easy. That car is a tank. Nothing's gonna take care or break that car at all. I could probably drive it into the ground and it will still keep me alive in that car, which is amazing. I trust that car driving from Toronto to Vancouver, not a problem. I've owned this car for about 3.5 years, absolutely love it. But for people with other cars, right? They can go ahead and just maintain their cars. Yes, it's older. Yes, maybe they're putting a little bit more repairs in, but it's way cheaper than going ahead and buying a new car because markups on new cars is insane. I just saw the F-150 Lightning that's coming out. Dealers are putting a $15,000 or $20,000 price adjustment on those cars. That's insane. You know, number one, I don't know what consumer would go ahead and just absorb that cost. I wouldn't. I think that's a ripoff, but some people do, and people are buying this. I'm going to be talking about that in a separate video, but I don't want to, you know, promote that practice. I don't want to give these dealerships $15,000, $20,000 on top of the MSRP for a new car. So number one, cost. If I was, you know, holding an older car, I don't want to go ahead and buy a new car when I'm paying such an exorbitant price on a new car. So the new car option is kind of out the door. Then I look at used cars. Maybe I want to upgrade to another used car. And then the used car market is also crazy. You're kind of left with the situation of if your car is running or it's able to run, especially over the course of the next year, you should be keeping your car. You really should. The reason I believe that the supply chain is going to not only fix itself, but for cars that are quote unquote normal cars, let's say like my Lexus IS250, I think you'll see those prices come cratering down in about a year. That's my prediction. I don't think for certain cars that are internal combustion engine cars that are special, Honda S2000, Audi R8, you know, Acura NSX, these type of special cars, they have their own demand. They're going to continue to be highly sought after, and those prices may plateau or increase. But I'm talking about the normal everyday cars that are made in mass. I think you'll see a correction in the used car market about a year from now. So I have seen, it's happened to me, it's happening to my friends, people that I'm talking to, they're keeping their older cars for longer. They're maintaining them, they're putting the effort in to make sure that they can drive them or have a car that they can drive for the next year until the supply chain crisis and all the issues that are happening get sorted out. This is another topic I actually want to talk about too. If you're looking to buy a new car, don't buy a new car and pay a $15,000 or $20,000 price adjustment to the dealer. Honestly, it's highway robbery. It's not something you want to, practice, because this means that dealers are going to think they can do this all the time for these new cars and essentially just extract the most amount of money out of you. So in my opinion, I'd say don't do that. Don't incentivize that type of price manipulation by these dealers. And then in the used car market, I think you can wait. I think if possible, if you have a car that you can keep today, spend that extra time, money maintaining it. If you can't go to a mechanic, maybe just learn, go on YouTube. I do videos on my Lexus IS 250 on how to maintain it every day in your garage. So anybody, with a set of tools and a little bit of knowledge and curiosity, they can go ahead and do the majority, I'd say, of the repairs themselves in their garage. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for all the support. But that's what I do, right? That's what I'm doing. So I'm doing all the maintenance on my Lexus, keeping it alive. 350,000 kilometers. It'll probably last me for, honestly, 500,000, dare I say, 1,000,000 kilometers is my guess. But that's what I'm doing. And that's why I'm seeing this trend where all of these older, high mileage cars, they're getting a breath of fresh air and a new life brought into them, because it just doesn't make financial sense to go out in the market to buy new or used. Now, if you're rich and you have a lot of money and you don't care about this, okay, I understand. You're in a good spot. Sure, do that. But I think for the average person or those that have a conscious budget in mind around where they're spending their money, traditional logic says you don't want to spend your money on a depreciating asset. And now you're buying those depreciating assets. Not only that depreciate, but their costs of maintaining them increase over time. You're buying them at an overinflated price. So, specifically for those cars that are, mass-produced cars that are really meant to get you from point A to B, I think you can go ahead and actually extend the life of your car, save a lot of money, and just not be involved with this entire, market today, which is honestly quite insane. I've seen some of these old cars, some of these used car prices are just over the top, through the roof. Doesn't make any sense at all. And honestly, it's probably best to stay away from it, especially if you have a running car today. But let me know your thoughts. Curious what you guys think. I know this for a fact from my perspective. I may have been looking to get a new car. The electric car, market is heating up. I wanted to go ahead and take a dive in there. The F-150 Lightning was an option. Between the F-150 Lightning, the Hyundai Ioniq 5, which I also reviewed. If you haven't seen that video, I'll post it in the card above. And then the Lexus RZ that's coming out. So those were some of the options I wanted to look at. But the F-150 Lightning 15 to 20K dealer adjustments and markups, that just makes me not want to buy these cars, right? I don't want to buy these trucks. I don't want to buy these cars because I don't want to feel like I'm getting gouged, right, from the MSRP. And then on top of that, what does that mean when the supply chain crisis kind of solves itself? What happens when everything starts to normalize again? Am I going to be left holding the bag? I don't know. It's hard to predict, but my prediction is mass-produced cars, especially the older ones, will start coming back down in price, back to their normal values. And I think only those unique cars will continue to stay with their value. So person like me looking for an A to B driver, new electric car, new whatever car, I can't stomach a 15 to 20K price adjustment. That's almost like 30%, 40% in some cases I've seen price adjustments. The new Lexus IS 500, the price adjustments for this car are like $40,000. It's insane. They've almost doubled the MSRP, maybe 40% on the MSRP. It's just nuts. Honestly, to me, it's greed. It's something that I don't want to participate in. And so that's why I'm keeping this Lexus for as long as humanly possible. And even if I do find an electric car where I can buy it at MSRP or somewhere close to MSRP, I'm still going to keep the Lexus. I think I'm going to keep it and do a test on it to see how long it'll last until it dies. I'm obviously not going to try to kill it. I'm going to keep it alive as long as humanly possible as a test to see how far it can go. My bet's on 1,000,000 kilometers. I don't know if I'll get there in my lifetime. I'll try. Maybe you'll see in a video in the future, like 10 years from now, maybe someone else in my family is going to have that car and it's still going to be kicking. But let me know your thoughts in the comment box down below. I'm curious, are you in the market? Are you looking for a car? Were you considering a car? Did you kind of have the same feelings I was feeling? Because that's what I'm feeling today, and it's kind of insane. So I hope everything normalizes in the future. Lots of cool cars coming out in 2022. It's just unfortunate that you have to play this game and, buy up on these dealer adjustments, or even the used car market kind of makes it a drag. which really sucks. I hope you guys are having a great 2022. I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen in 2022. A lot of stuff coming out with the Audi R8. It's still at the shop. I'm actually going to be working with Bill, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Lots of updates to come on that. More maintenance on the Lexus IS 250 that we have. Some motorcycle stuff and news coming. That's coming as well. A little preview. And then hopefully getting myself in an electric car. Really considering the Lexus, the Hyundai Ioniq 5, or the F-150 Lightning. It'd be pretty cool to tow the R8 to the track with the F-150 Lightning. I think that's kind of the use case that I really want. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.